Hey guys, in this lesson we're going to talk about how to rationalize radical expressions. Now, rationalizing radical expressions simply just means to eliminate the radical sign. And we are typically doing this when we're trying to eliminate the radical from the denominator of a fraction. So let's take a look at a couple of examples. So here we have in A, we have the square root of 12 plus the square root of 1/3. Recall from the previous video talking about operations that in order to add radical expressions, you would have to have like terms. Which means in this case we would need like radicands. So we're going to have to simplify both of the terms here. So let's start with the square root of 12. We know that we can break the square root of 12 up into smaller factors, which would be 3 and 4. You could do 2 and 6, but again, we're looking for perfect squares. And so 3 and 4 will give me one of those perfect squares. So I know that the square root of 4 is a perfect square. So once we have that, we're going to remove that perfect square. We're going to square root it, and we're going to remove it from out of the radical. So this is going to simplify to 2 square roots of 3. Now, let's talk about this fraction of the square root of 1/3. Remember that in order for something to be in simplest form, we cannot have fractions in the radicand. So let's eliminate these fractions here. So we're going to start by breaking apart this fraction so that it's the square root of 1 over the square root of 3. I know that the square root of 1 is 1, and the square root of 3 just has to be the square root of 3. Now, we also know that when we're simplifying, we cannot have radicals in the denominator. So we're going to have to do what's called rationalize the denominator. And in order to do that, we would just simply multiply the numerator and the denominator by the square root of 3, by whatever the radical is in the denominator. So in this case, that would be the square root of 3. So we're going to multiply the numerator and the denominator by the square root of 3. When I multiply the numerator by the square root of 3, I end up with the square root of 3. When I multiply the denominator by the square root of 3, because I have the square root of 3 times the square root of 3, that's going to simply be the square root of 9. And we know that the square root of 9 is a perfect square and can simplify down to the square root of 3 over 3. And so here is our new simplified expression so far. We have 2 square roots of 3 plus the square root of 3 over 3. Now, these are like terms because they have the like radicand of the square root of 3. Because the square root of 3 is in the numerator, and we have the square root of 3 in the first term, this lets me know that these are like terms and that we can combine them. But before we can combine them, we need to get common denominators since we have fractions. So let's start by changing our fraction, or our first term, to a fraction by placing it over 1. Then our common denominator between 1 and 3 would be 3. So let's multiply the numerator and the denominator by 3 in our first term. When I multiply the numerator by 3, I'm going to take the coefficient of 2 and I'm going to multiply it to 3 to give me 6 square roots of 3. And then the denominator would be 1 times 3, which is 3. And so now I have 6 square roots of 3 plus the square root of 3 over 3. And so now I can combine these terms. When I add the numerators, I'm adding 6 square roots of 3 to 1 square root of 3, which would give me a total of 7 square roots of 3 over 3. And so this would be my simplified expression. Let's look at B. So here we have the square root of 15. Now, the square root of 15 is in simplest form because if I break up 15 into 3 and 5, those factors are prime, and we couldn't simplify it further. So the square root of 15 will simply be the square root of 15. So we're going to leave that alone for right now. But we are going to have to change this fraction because remember, in simplest form, we cannot have fractions underneath the radicand. So let's begin by breaking up this fraction to the square root of 3 over the square root of 5. Now we need to rationalize the denominator. And remember, to rationalize the denominator, we're just going to multiply the top and the bottom by whatever that radical is. So in this case, that radical is the square root of 5. So let's multiply the numerator and the denominator by the square root of 5. When we do that, the numerator changes to become the square root of 15, since 3 times 5 is 15, and the denominator becomes the square root of 25. Since 5 times 5 is 25. Now, the square root of 15 we've already established cannot be simplified further, but the square root of 25 is a perfect square, and that is 5. So now our new expression is the square root of 15 minus the square root of 15 over 5. These are like terms because they have like radicands. Before I can combine them, however, I need to get a common denominator. So let's change this first term to a fraction, putting it over 1. And then let's make sure that we get a common denominator. The common denominator here would be 5. So let's multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 5. Now, Because this 5 is not underneath the radical, I cannot multiply it to 15. So this is simply going to just become 5 times the square root of 15 over 1 times 5, which is 5, minus the square root of 15 over 5. Now we can combine our like terms. So we have 5 square roots of 15 minus 1 square root of 15, which would be 4 square roots of 15, over 5. And so this would be our simplified expression. Now let's take a look at these next two examples. These two examples are a little bit different because in the denominator we have an expression, such as 5 minus the square root of 2. Because we have addition or subtraction in the denominator, when we want to go to rationalize the denominator, we're actually going to have to do something different here. We're going to have to multiply by what is known as the conjugate. The conjugate is simply when you have opposite signs in front of the radical, same sign in front of the rational number, and we use this to eliminate radical expressions. So, for example, 3 plus the square root of 2 and 3 minus the square root of 2 would be conjugates. So we multiply by conjugates to get rid of that expression, to get rid of the radical in the denominator. All right. And if we don't multiply by the conjugate in the denominator, then we will not be able to eliminate that radical that's there. So let's take a look at this first one. Here we have 3 over 5 minus the square root of 2. To get rid of the radical in the denominator, we're going to have to multiply by the conjugate. So remember, we're going to have the same terms. We're still going to have 5, and we're still going to have the square root of 2. We're going to keep the sign in front of the rational number in front of 5 the same. So if 5 was positive, 5 is going to stay positive. But now we're going to have an opposite sign in front of the radical. So instead of minus the square root of 2, the opposite sign would be plus the square root of 2. Remember that if we multiply by something in the bottom, we also have to do the same thing to the top. So we're going to multiply the top and the bottom by 5 square roots of 2. When I multiply the top by 5 square roots of 2, I distribute the 3 across, and that's going to end up giving me 15 plus 3 square roots of 2. Multiply the 3 to both the 5 and to the square root of 2. When I multiply the bottom, we're going to use FOIL. So I have 5 minus the square root of 2, I'm going to write it off to the side, times 5 plus the square root of 2. And what we end up with is 5 times 5, which is 25. 5 times the square root of 2, which is 5 square roots of 2, positive 5 square roots of 2. We have the negative square root of 2 times 5. So that's going to be minus 5 square roots of 2, plus the square root of 2 times the square root of 2, which would be minus the square root of 4. And so here, we're going to simplify. The 5 square roots of 2 and the negative 5 square roots of 2 cancel each other out. We have 25 minus the square root of 4, which happens to be 2, and that would be 23. So in the denominator, we now have 23. And this would be our simplified expression. Now let's look at the next example. So here we have the square root of 3 over the square root of 3 minus 5. Now be careful here because notice where the radical is at. When we multiply by the conjugate, remember that we're taking the opposite of the sign in front of the radical. So instead of positive square root of 3, we're going to have a negative square root of 3. And we're keeping the sign in front of the rational number the same. So if I had minus 5, I still need to have minus 5. Now remember, we're going to multiply both the top and the bottom by that conjugate. All right, so let's multiply. We multiply the top by distributing, so I distribute the square root of 3 here. Square root of 3 times the negative square root of 3 is going to be the negative square root of 9. And then the square root of 3 minus 5, the square root of 3 times minus 5 is going to be minus 5 square roots of 3. So there's my numerator. Let's talk about the denominator. I'm going to multiply 3 square roots of 5, the square root of 3 minus 5, there we go, times the negative square root of 3 minus 5. And we're going to use FOIL. So the square root of 3 times the negative square root of 3 is going to be the negative square root of 9. We've got the square root of 3 times negative 5, which is going to be minus the square root, minus 5 square roots of 3. Then we've got negative 5 times the negative square root of 3, which is going to be positive, since a negative times a negative is a positive, 5 square roots of 3. And then we have negative 5 times negative 5, which is positive 25. And the middle terms, remember, are going to cancel each other out. The negative square root of 9 would be negative 3, since the square root of 9 is 3, and we want to make it negative, plus 25, which would give us 22 when we combine that. And so, on the top, we have negative square root of 9 minus 5 square roots of 3. But we know that the negative square root of 9 we just established is negative 3, so we have negative 3 minus 5 square roots of 3 over 22. And this is how we rationalize radical expressions.